For a video like this, I sometimes think I should have something like the theme tune for like Tales of the Crypt going in the background or something. Throughout the whole of the history of tarot as a spiritual discipline, there's always been a move for people to attempt to gain some kind of intimate knowledge as to what particular symbols are trying to tell them. And this can happen in lots of different ways. There's the way which is illustrated by the designs within the Golden Dawn Tarot, in the fact that they look hand-drawn, and some people get artistic and try and draw and create the image as if they were like writing a religious icon, so that they can like get that symbol deeply ingrained inside them. I think that kind of like makes some sense, because as you carry on with your journey using tarot, you will find there will be moments when there will be strong visualizations or strong moments of imagination in which the image of one particular card or one particular symbol or something you've seen within your journey of finding out tarot will suddenly appear to your eyes. It will just like be there and be gone, or something will happen and it will remind you of a sign or a symbol or one of the cards of the tarot, as if there's something about an experience you're going through at that time, or something which is happening on the inside, your inner landscape, is being represented by that one particular symbol. Essentially, you learn to incorporate these things into your mind. You can even find yourself dreaming about one particular card or something like that. It's just like quite a weird experience. The methods of finding things out about the cards can be very many and varied. As I say, there's the physical methods, the action of drawing or painting the imagery that you see in the cards, not to copy someone else's artwork, but to put your own interpretation as to what you have decided that the meaning of that one particular card is. Another is to visualize the card like a doorway. Okay, you go into a deep alpha theta meditation. Maybe you're using like a shamanic drumming tape in the background or something like that, or like a mind machine meditation, and like you go into that deep state. You get yourself into the meditative state of mind. You do strong visualization if you can, or if you can't, you describe it to yourself using words in the back of your mind of what it would be like going through a doorway that looks like that one particular card or that one particular symbol, and what happens on the other side. Part of that you leave open to like randomness to see what happens in your mind's eye, and part of that maybe like you go through a narrative inside yourself to try and paint a story. Okay, partially happening all by itself, partially happening as something you've scripted, which you then journey through in your meditation. And you'll be surprised what happens from time to time as you do that. Okay, it's rather weird, it's wonderful, it's peculiar, it's exciting. And then, of course, there's just simply meditating with the things. You take that card out, you sit with it. I used to know someone who would put one of the tarot cards up beside his bed, and that would be the first thing he would look at in the morning, okay? Or put it beside his bed, and that would be the last thing he looks at before he goes to bed. And he would monitor his dreams, he would think about the card, he would consciously try and make it be materialized in his mind's eye. That was actually quite good. I didn't actually like the guy in question, but on the other hand, that was quite a good method that he had chosen to try and allow himself over a period of like 78 days to look into each and every single card one at a time, a bit like someone who's religious doing their regular Bible or Quran readings every single day, you know what I mean? It's an exercise, it's a practice, it's something that kind of like lives with you, and you do. But sometimes you can like explore it from another point of view. I mean, let's say you were to choose, let's say, an ideomotor device and try and use that as your method and ask the entity or the consciousness, not of the card itself, but a consciousness which is described by it imaginatively. It will be exactly the same as if you were meditating into the card or taking a journey through the card, through like a path-working exercise, when you're like treating the card like a doorway in its own right and trying to get to the other side and to see what happens. Okay, so just think about what could actually, what kind of questions you could ask, how you could like experientially, tangibly kind of like reach into the symbolism and have some kind of like union with it through conversation. Okay, it could be simple questions, it could be complicated, it could be whatever it is you see fit. Okay, but you've got to take into account the tool that you're using and how that operates. I once attended a ghost hunt in which we did the traditional Ouija board, set up, candles everywhere, looked beautiful, but there were too many people in the room and everyone was asking questions all the time. Diddly 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 diddly. No, these things are devices which have one questioner asking the questions. Okay, and so they work a lot better either alone or in small groups when you've got an understanding as to who's doing what and what their role is and so on and so forth. And you got some kind of like feeling of like how everything works together. Okay, I really want you to just like be aware of that, because like you ask questions in different ways, you experience the reality in different ways, you get your answers in different ways depending upon the tools. Okay, yes, you could also do dark mirror scrying. You could set up your black mirror in a totally dark room. You can't do it in bright sunny daylight. Okay, totally dark room, late at night, one candle either side, not allowing the candles to reflect into the black mirror, but on either side, so the light reflects on both sides of your face and you stare at your reflection whilst meditating onto the visual, visualizing the card in your mind's eye, conjuring it up and seeing what comes out, how your reflection changes as your persistence of vision, okay, blanks out your own reflection, and then your subconscious mind inserts something else. You've got sensory deprivation going on, you've got all this kind of stuff, okay? And that's another powerful way of trying to have some kind of reflection or union. I'm going to be totally honest with you, okay? I've done the dark mirror experiment a few times, fair few times actually, and it scares me these days, okay? I'm not as happy with doing it, okay? But that time will come again. But for the moment, okay, let's just see what happens as we explore this particular arrangement or organization. I mean, I could do this with tarot spreads, I could do this with individual cards. Let's just see how it goes, okay, with the first experiment, which is coming very soon for you. Here we go.